Sinner.
Pals! We're continuing forward with House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5. Here we go!
It's like, you must know when her dragon doesn't come back,
Right.
what's happened to her.
Yeah.
I feel like theirs is the best love story in the whole of the series.
And they took it from us.
What a blow. Oh gosh.
The traitor dragon Maelys, slain at Brook's Rest by your king, to Aegon!
Okay, where's Aegon though?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing.
I need to see his body. I need to see his face. Is he okay? Did he survive that?
Mark my words, this is a black omen.
Yeah. War is here, guys.
I was like, what part of the dragon is that? I just realized it was the head.
And of course my brain went, is it edible? Could we feed the people? But I don't think you can.
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory. If it was one.
Well, yeah, you had a lot of loss in the process.
Well, and there's also more loss to come. That's the thing.
The traitor dragon Maelys,
I thought the dragons was gods.
slain at Brook's Rest.
Gods die too.
It's just meat.
But can you eat it? Oh God, they're
Oh,
still there.
Yeah, that's...
Ugh. Bet that stinks too. All right, Aemond, an explanation.
I know, right? I'm very curious
Like,
about their
what
conversation.
happened? Yeah. Oh dear. He's in there, isn't he? Dead or alive, I don't know.
How do we feel?
Open the box! Ah! I need to see.
I'm guessing he's dead.
That's the vibe I'm getting. With the music and all. But they have to sell a story to the people, you know? It's like, oh yeah, your king did it. Are we just gonna pretend that he's still alive for a while? Are you a widow now, Helena?
What's her vibe telling her? She always has like a third eye about things.
Yeah. Show me. Oh. Yeah, he's dead.
Even if you didn't like him, like the loss for a mother.
Yeah.
Is he alive?
Is he alive?
His grace remains with us.
Wow.
Well, Aemond,
Wow.
you've definitely got some explaining to do. Unless he's got amnesia. Oh my God, what are we doing? Oh, it's like stuck to him. Oh no, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeesh. Well, thank goodness he's out, so he doesn't feel any of that.
Yeah. Do you reckon Aemond might come in at some point and like try and finish the job? Oh, God.
I mean, I think that's a question on everybody's mind, isn't it?
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep talking. They're trying to save him.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
God.
Yeah, thank God he's out of it.
He doesn't look the slightest bit scared.
No.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
Right to it.
Okay.
He wasted no time.
No subtlety at all.
What happened?
Yeah.
Took the castle at the cost of some 900 men.
Wow.
Not just them.
Yeah, what happened to my son?
The king. Sir Criston, what befell him?
His grace fought valiantly.
Yeah, she knows you're not telling her everything.
In Hammond?
Yeah, you know your sons. He does not have a good poker face.
What was his part in this?
He's like, if I don't look at you, I don't have to tell you anything.
Our largest dragon has been killed.
Okay. I thought she was going to probe him.
We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
Oh, okay, we're going there.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
I worry.
It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle or their execution.
Okay.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
I feel bad for her because, like, her main ally is gone now.
If Cole pursues his campaign, our allies must be
We
ready.
must answer Rook's Rest and Duskendale.
They are lost already, but Vagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle.
Okay.
If we can strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered...
Then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It's out of the question.
What would you have me do?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty frustrating to the suggestion that she just stands by while others do the work.
My mother gladly sends you away. Whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling, it's humiliating.
You are the succession.
Then I must be seen to act for her claim and mine.
Thematically, it feels like there's a lot of people who want to just feel like they're doing something. You know?
Crickenstark's greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act.
She will not like it.
Then don't tell her.
Oh my gosh, really?
Jeez. That's a big ask.
I don't think this is a good idea, guys. All the young ones are just trying to, like, make their mark on the world, but I'm not convinced that they know better.
Our terms are simple, Lord Bracken. Renounce the false King Aegon as a usurper. Bend the knee to me. Or your house burns.
What options do you have?
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwoods.
Oh boy.
My god.
The Brackens were a people hatched out of the deepest of the seven hells, your grace. It would be a kindness to oblige them and send them back whence they came.
Okay.
Did your brother's head keep on its way back to you, Willem?
Oh my gosh.
The maggots got to it.
That is quite the impression, Lord Bracken. But alas, not an answer.
You're all gonna burn.
We'll see. Hold on.
We choose fire.
Okay, then.
All right. Dracarys, let's go. Oh, dang. I was looking forward to watching some people burn.
They made their choice. You should have indulged them.
I need them alive.
Oh.
I came here to raise swords, not corpses.
Well, how are they supposed to take you seriously?
They are pig-headed, intransigent.
They would rather burn than succumb.
All right. How do we work with that?
Exactly the kind of men I need.
Okay.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
I was like, what's the word gonna be?
They are unyielding in battle.
Well, yeah, that's
the
pretty
point.
good ally to have there.
That's kind of the point.
But every man has a weakness.
What is it?
You take my meaning then.
Ladies?
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
What's their weakness?
What do you mean, show them your worst?
I like that he's thinking ahead.
The Eyrie itself is impregnable. Unless, of course, we're descended upon from the sky.
Oh.
You promised the Queen Rhaenyra 15,000 swords.
In return for protection. A dragon.
Then she has exceeded your terms. She sent 2.
Both still wet from the egg. I have hunting hounds that are more fearsome.
They are dragons nonetheless. I do not recall you specifying the size of the beast in your request. The dragons will grow. In time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
So do I.
No? Simpatico?
This will be your chamber. I'll expect you at supper this evening. My sympathies for the death of your grandmother.
Does she know already, or was this how she found out? Oh, shit.
Oh.
Do they hold you responsible for Rhaenys and her dragon?
I would rather they had. They speak around me, not to me.
Yeah.
Oh, they would make me queen, but they wish to keep me here, confined.
They betray their own smallness.
In truth, I cannot fault them. I am now the sovereign. I cannot do as I please.
Yeah, that sucks.
You are your father's chosen successor.
They did not prepare me to fight. If I had been a son, a sword thrust into my hand the moment I could walk. Instead, I was given my father's cup, taught the name of every lord and castle between Storm's End and the Twins, but not the difference between hilt and foible.
Oh, maybe we can use diplomacy.
And Damon as well.
Shall your evening meal be served here, Your Grace?
Not now.
Yeah.
Like, read the room.
Will you send to him?
For too long I have looked to him for strength. If I must be supplicant to my own husband, what does that make me?
She's gonna send her.
I do not know my part. The path I walk has never been trod.
So you gotta make it yourself.
Kristen Cole made a mistake, parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. But the people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
They are afraid. Bread is scarce.
No, it's like you called.
They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
But will whispers tear down stone?
They could.
Do not underestimate your subjects.
Yeah.
They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long.
Yes.
And you think they will turn to me?
To the discontented, rumors are feed.
She's smart.
What does she do with that, though?
What you cannot do, let others do for you.
Yeah, delegate.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
We fight like ladies do. Get the men to do the dirty work.
I'm not able to see the 10 pieces ahead. Like, I'm not sure how she uses that to her advantage.
Well, if the people look to her as a savior, she'll have the support of the people.
I gather that much, but how do you earn that support, you know? Never mind.
Did your grandmother ever tell you of the night she claimed Meleese?
She snuck into the dragon pit.
She knew that place better than any elder. They said she could see in the dark. She did not always care for me, but for what she gave me in the end, I'm grateful.
I wished I had known her when she was young.
I think we all wish for things like that.
Would you give this to your grandsire? I do not wish to stand alone.
Yeah.
Damon,
Oh my God.
you were always the strong one, the finest swordsman, the fearless dragon rider. Your brother had great love in his heart.
How do we know anything ever happening with Daemon is real? You know, even the negotiation earlier, is that real? I mean, I'm assuming it's real.
Yeah.
But, like, how do we know?
Oh.
Ooh,
If only you'd been born first, my favorite son.
What?
That's weird.
Is the duck not to your liking, Your Grace?
Are you naked?
There's also goose, if you prefer it.
What a cut. What an edit.
I like the goose myself.
He's visibly disturbed.
We're drawing water for the kitchens and lighting the forges.
Very well.
That is merely the beginning, of course. The roof alone has needed tending since the reign of Aenys, and the storerooms and the Wailing Tower.
The Wailing Tower.
The bats have made the corridors almost impassable with the quantity of
They're shit. Task their huntsmen to bring us meat and wood.
There's, of course, the matter of payment.
Oh.
It's pretty important.
Yeah.
After the tragedy that befell his father, Larys transferred his family's wealth to King's Landing.
Of course he did.
I rather thought, Your Grace, as emissary to the Queen, perhaps she could provide the necessary coin, if you could only write to her.
No. Harrenhal is my command. I shall guarantee the payment myself.
Do you have the money?
Yeah, like, how exactly?
Very well, Your Grace.
You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
Why is he...
What would you call the husband of the Queen?
Well, the king.
There it is, then.
Consort.
Yeah.
Why is he challenging him?
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
Yeah, but that's what you are. You're the king consort.
I just don't see the need to challenge him.
I'm not sure he will ever wake. I have plied my crafts to their fullest extent. Our king's fate.
God, he looks happy.
He's so calm.
A king cannot rule in his sleep.
There you go.
The realm will have noticed his absence. Let them hear of his great deeds at Rook's Rest. But now we must name a regent to take his place. Until he recovers.
Queen Regent or Prince Regent?
A wise strategy, Your Grace. A regency will assure the people of the stability of the crown.
Mm-hmm. Who will it be?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace.
Oh, God.
They don't want her.
The king does not lack for heirs. The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemond.
Yeah.
Aemond is young. And his lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
They want him. They don't want a woman.
They don't care about anything she's saying.
Aemond is a fearsome dragon rider. His skill is best employed in the field, but my experience is needed here, at this table.
No offense was meant, Your Grace, but at a time when we must show strength.
Lord Laris.
Get the allies
I
involved.
agree, Your Grace. It must be Prince Aemond.
Ay. The betrayal.
But the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Kristen. What say you?
Oh, God, but he knows what happened.
Aemond is the next in line.
Damn, you ain't getting nothing from her for a while. Your bed is going to be cold tonight.
It's agreed, then.
He didn't even have to,
say anything.
suggest himself.
Yeah,
He's like,
he was just waiting.
I know what's going to happen. Dang it, Aemond.
What is our standing in the Riverlands?
The banners of House of Targaryen are in disarray, Your Grace. Prince Daemon has little hope of fielding an army of any size for now.
Oh, she is livid.
Yeah.
Your brother's host to meet Daemon. You should quicken his pace and check the rivermen while their banners are in disarray.
I shall send Lord Jason encouragement.
Is she going to flip out?
Though that's just going to make it way worse if she does. First, her dad
Nor
gets
is to leave
pushed
all
out.
save without consent.
Now
Merchants,
her.
So forth.
What is she thinking right now? She raised a monster. What is she? I'm actually quite curious and excited to see what he does.
We should make for Tumbleton. My brother will have room.
You would have me turn beggar.
Don't be too proud.
Yeah, don't let your pride get in the way of survival.
Are we not beggars already? Have you been paid for those machines you were forced to build?
The king has promised payment.
The king has lied.
Listen to your wife. You're not getting paid.
She's going to go without you, dude.
Yeah, your daughter is sick. Ay. Oh, the doggy! He's so loyal. Someone adopt him.
Kristen kept his composure around that smell.
Presumed you'd be here. Seeing faithfully to the Prince Regent's commands.
Aemond is the next in line. It is the order of things.
You know what he is.
A monster.
Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
You're not still sleeping together, are you?
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What?
Yeah.
Their armor melted. There were men walking, they were on fire.
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
We have given the war to the dragons. The dragon rider should lead us.
Maybe he's in denial about what he saw.
So you cast me aside?
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not ask to be spared. And I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Yeah. Know your place, Sir Kristen Cole.
I mean, he made his bed. He picked a side.
He picked. No, guys. It's too late. You should have left earlier. No one's allowed out now.
Oh, this is not a good look.
You should have left earlier.
I feel like violence is going to break out.
You cannot keep us here! To return to your homes! We want me!
Ay. Oh, God.
I thought they were gonna break out the swords and start chopping people down. Like,
yeah.
Our fear lies in Vhagar.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Yeah, but
that's an appropriate fear on their part.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do.
Are you in a position to do that?
And the protection of my uncle.
What?
I'm sure has consented to this?
He will do as his queen commands.
Ugh.
Though it occurs to me that dragons cannot be in two places at once.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
You want Harrenhal?
That's a renovation project.
Don't make a decision with. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's been decided.
Man, everybody's just going around Rhaenyra.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Okay, how's that gonna play? How do you have that conversation?
Yeah. Like, hey mom, I think you'd be really proud of me. I did this thing. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? I thought we were a team. You don't go around behind her back and then decide to do things. It's Miss Rivers up there, messing with your head.
Everything's cool. Everything's cool. His body language was great.
I hear strange things from Brackenland, from Stonehenge, and Lambswold, and Moray. What I hear in the wind.
She has a creepy, simultaneously ethereal look.
Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
Oh, that's awful.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
Surely you haven't mistaken me for an upright man. They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
Is that the kind of army you would raise?
Yeah.
And who hate you?
Exactly.
Who serve you under duress?
Well, once they agree to serve me, I'll treat them fairly.
And once again, in the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
She's not wrong.
The realm will suffer if Aemon One Eye rule. You should pray you never meet someone. They will cut you down soon as wish you good day.
I'd heard the same thing about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
Are you going to send word to the Queen?
The people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength. When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side.
Oh man, the truth comes out.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead. And none of this will be my problem.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
Oh.
A message, Your Grace.
She's
Clearly,
interesting.
that's a sore spot. Yeah.
Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
Call Sir William here so that I might congratulate him. The Blackwoods will be feted in these halls.
These are lofty ideas, man.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then. They will accept it most gleefully.
Yeah.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
You have done so before. At great cost to yourself and those who loved you.
Yeah, that's not going to do anybody any good, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
She died as she would have wished to die. With honor. In Dragonfire. The way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end.
Oof.
Wow. Some fierce women.
Yeah.
I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne as Rhaenys wished. As Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
Gosh, I think she injected some inspiration into
Yeah.
her.
I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Dang.
You were correct in saying our best hope of an army is with Daemon.
Okay.
I wish you to go to Harrenhal
Are you removing me from your council?
Sir Alfred.
Absolutely not.
I will not deny you have tried my patience of late. You and your house served my father well. And I know you will never accept the Hightower claim.
Not while I live, Your Grace.
We cannot challenge King's Landing without the Riverlands. But I will not send a message by Raven for Daemon to disregard.
Yeah.
I ask you to reason with him.
You can try.
And his intentions.
Intentions?
Whether he means to raise a host for me or for himself.
She knows him.
Yeah.
Have you any message for him?
That's a good question.
No.
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
It's like their own little personal fight, and then also this bigger issue going on.
All these scenes with him and his hallucinations and stuff do a good job of making me feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Your Grace.
Oh.
What is it?
He's real. He wouldn't dream of him.
The River Lords have come, Your Grace. They are demanding to speak presently.
Well, he got dressed quick.
Yeah, that's a certain amount of power to be able to basically command the king consort for a meeting.
There have been complications.
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms.
Oh god, he went too far.
These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
Yeah.
A terrible war is being fought in these lands.
Oh.
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
Whoa, yeah.
The Riverlands are an ancient place, watched closely by the eyes of old gods and new. And dragon or no, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Oh.
It's backfired. Oh, that's a cool little transition there. Everybody's stressed out.
I have an errand for the Lady Massaria.
I thought she was dead.
Would she die without collecting her due?
Wait, what?
I must see an old friend.
Most people want out these days.
Oh, wow. Okay. Perhaps, like, she's going to start spreading rumors and stuff. Or, like, influencing the small folk. You know? You gonna do it?
I guess it's a yes.
She needs people close to her who will support her. Wow.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it worth the price?
Oh, she knows.
She knows everything.
Oh, I thought he was about to wake up. I was like, that'd be a really surprising way to end this episode. What a great payday. Oh! Get paid to lie in bed.
Prince Jacaerys, Your Grace.
Okay. How's this gonna go?
So I did a thing. Don't be mad. Hear me out. It's awesome.
Visenya,
Vhagar's first rider, and the first wielder of Dark Sister.
I hope you do not mean to use her as an example.
Why shouldn't I?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
She's pretty scary with her looks.
What is the mood at the twins?
Oh, gosh.
He wishes for the phrase to be granted Harrenhal. At war's end, assuming.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine my lot. I'm a dragon rider as well. With a war being fought over my ascension. And yet I must wait here, sending others to fight and be felled in my name.
You are the queen. The tie that binds us. No harm can come to you.
And you are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
Yep.
You do not give me leave to go to anything. But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baelor cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young.
Yeah.
Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Yeah, her position's totally understandable.
Perhaps Daemon could...
Oh. Yeah, you can't rely on Daemon for anything.
Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all destroyed?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
I need dragons.
We have two large enough to stand against Vhagar. They are called Vermithor and Silverwing.
Do we have riders?
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me. I would go forth in strength and not from necessity.
There is Rhaena.
Who nearly lost her life in her last attempt. I would not risk it again.
Who else?
There are those of our line who never ruled.
Oh.
Those who married into other noble houses. Their children born with other names.
A generation ago or more.
So?
The dragon will only accept a dragon lord to ride it. Also say the histories.
Valyrian histories. Written to gild us in glory.
True.
Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon? A Tarly?
It's better than death and defeat.
Yeah, you gotta think outside of the box.
There are records here, surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
Also, wasn't there that guy who's like a bastard as well? Yeah, like there's surely there are bastards and stuff.
There could be scores of them.
Yeah. But then how are you going to actually train them fast enough?
It's a mad sword.
Madness is what we need right now.
Yeah, what choice do you have?
Dang, look at all the scrolls.
Research time.
Yep. Like, what else are you going to do? You're stuck in the castle.
The moment he started talking about that idea, I was like, what about the dude at the bar? I feel like he's got to come back.
Yeah, he's got to come back, right?
Unless that was just a misdirect.
No, I don't think there are any misdirects in this show. I mean, whether or not it's paid off in this season or in another season, surely he wouldn't have appeared if he's not significant in the story.
Yeah. How'd you feel about this episode overall?
Well, I think like it felt, a little bit slower than some of the other episodes, but I think it's really interesting because we're seeing like the ripple effect of everything that's happening. And the fear, the frustration, it was actually really frustrating to me to watch how her council was treating Rhaenyra. It's like, take her seriously. Do you know what I mean? But like, no, they're not, because even though they say that she's their queen, they keep making excuses as to like why she's not good enough. It's like, oh yeah, but you only know times of peace. You don't know anything about war. And it's like, do any of us at this point? And so, yeah, it's just really frustrating to watch her have to deal with that, and like people just going off behind her back and everything, and like her son making decisions for himself, which I was surprised that she wasn't mad about it, because I guess ultimately she saw that what he did was actually a good move. But still, it's like, how can you be a queen when people are just going around and doing things behind your back? You know?
I suppose we needed an episode like this in the season. It's done such a good job at feeling like it's moving at a clip without it feeling like it's leaving anything out. You know what I mean? Because, okay, one of my big complaints that I've been saying for a while is with Marvel shows on Disney Plus, it feels like cliff notes of a show.
Right.
Whereas this definitely doesn't. I feel like I'm getting a full story in each episode, and it moves, and it doesn't slow down until this episode. This is the first episode where I'm like, if I was to ever revisit House of the Dragon, I'd probably skip this episode. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it. But it's definitely like a bridge point between exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's setting up a lot of cool ideas. Like, I love watching Missaria kind of step up in her relationship with Rhaenyra as well, like I suspected would happen, because she is a really strong asset. And I love that she is bringing another perspective to Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
And I feel like Rhaenyra really needs someone on her side like that now, especially now that she's lost Rhaenys. You know, I feel for her as she's standing in front of the council and now she's a lone woman. You know, whereas before she had the support of her aunt, right? She was wise and she was respected. And it gave her that extra edge. And then now it's like, she's all alone. And so I like that Missaria's there kind of giving her other ideas about like, well, you know, sure, you're kind of trapped in a way because you're the sovereign, but also, and a woman, obviously, but also there are other things that you can use to your advantage. And so I'm interested to see how they kind of position the small folk in the story to potentially help her ascend.
Yeah. I want to come back to that. I just want to finish the thought of like, so the last few episodes just felt like they were bounding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then this is the first one where it felt like we're taking a few steps as opposed to bounding forward.
We're taking a breath.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take a breath before you like go for a run.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
All the things that were done in here, like as far as the director and actors and everyone involved, they executed the material they were handed beautifully. Like it was well done. It's just in terms of the momentum, it just felt like it's really slowed down. Because when you go, you know, one episode a week, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to come to this. I'll crunch this up and keep doing what you've been doing. But I understand that sometimes we need that in order to appreciate the exciting stuff. It's all about balance. They were still moving forward. It just wasn't like it wasn't bounding forward like it did the last few.
I think, you know, a lot of the characters have to make some emotional choices as well, right?
There was a lot of grieving as well.
Yeah.
Over the loss of Rhaenys. And so I totally get that, you know, and we have her asking for Rhaenys' husband.
Corlys.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of names.
There are a lot of names,
So to be the hand. And it's like, understandably, he's grieving, he's going through his stuff, and he's like, he just wants to sail out to sea and basically get lost.
Well, he's
right?
lost so much as well. Like, he's lost his children to House Targaryen. Now he's lost his wife. And like, they did such a great job of building up the romance between them, because there are so many marriages in this show that are just, you know, a marriage of being an alliance, but they were actually in love.
Yeah.
And so you can understand the hurt and maybe just the frustration and anger and ill feeling that he has towards this family, because it's like, all I've done is give to you.
Yeah.
All I've done is support you. And what do I have to show for it? My home, my house is empty now, and it's just full of death and ghosts.
Yeah.
And he's left all alone. And so, you know, I feel for him, but I do feel that Rhaenyra needs him by her side.
I'm quite excited to see what Aemon does. I mean, even though he's a villain, like, it's just, he's such an intriguing character. It's like to see him ascend to the throne so quickly. I'm like, what are you going to do with that power? And what are you going to do when you're confronted by your brother? Because he woke up.
Yeah.
But he's in a daze. You know, who knows what he remembers?
Yeah, like maybe he's got amnesia and that's going to buy him some time. But I mean, I kind of feel like probably Aemon would be a better king. At least he's like...
He has more strategy.
He's more strategy. He's decisive. He doesn't come across as a complete imbecile like his brother does, you know?
Well, because he's smart.
He's smart, yeah. And that's scary. And it's also interesting as well that, like, I mean, I really liked how, I think her name's Alice Rivers, the kind of witchy lady in Harrenhal, where... You know, Daemon's all like, yeah, well, he would be nice to you and then he would turn around and kill you. And she's like, oh yeah, wouldn't you do the same?
Right.
And it's like, It's so...
The pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, exactly, because they're so similar.
Yeah.
They're also like the second brother, you know, and there's a kind of chip on their shoulder where they feel like they ought to be king, but because of rules and whatnot, they're not allowed to be.
But Aemon was able to do what Daemon couldn't.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that he kind of doesn't see that himself, even though other people are like, but you're so similar.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess there's a part of me that wants to see more happen with Daemon. It's just like, it feels like we kind of are retreading ground. And so there's just not a lot of movement there, you know? I'm like, why is he stuck in this castle?
He's so stubborn, though. It's like, okay, maybe they're both stubborn, right? Like both him and Rhaenyra, because yes, there is a sort of layer of it being like, well, he's out there trying to get an army for her, right? But on the other hand, it's also complicated because they've had a marital spat, and that's come into it. And neither of them are really going to, you know, take a step forward. I mean, I guess Rhaenyra...
It's his fault, though.
It is his fault.
Yeah.
But he's never going to see that. He's never going to relent. And now he's fully admitted to, like, I'm going to be king.
You know how in Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister, he started off as a character you basically hate for what he did. And by the end, he kind of becomes a hero in the story.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm wondering if we're seeing the early signs of that with Daemon. Because while he's on the side of what I would you consider the protagonist in the story, he's still, you know, kind of villainous in his own way. It's interesting the dynamic that's happening between him and the Witch Lady, because she obviously wants something, right? And so I'm asking myself, like, what does she want from him as the character? Like, what is her goal here? And it seems to me that her goal is to affect change in him, in his heart, to make him a better person. Or because, like, she has her grievances with how things have been. She wants things to be different.
Right.
And so there's a possibility that she must see where it could be different through him if she can change him. That's what I'm getting from that.
Good luck, lady.
But I mean, what else? What is the point of messing with his head if not that?
Maybe. I mean, he's been making some terrible choices.
Okay, but then what's your take on it? Because, like, what's the point of all those scenes? What's the point of her stirring up all this weirdness in his mind, like him making love to his mom? Like, she's doing all of this to him to what end? Is she just trying to trap him here and kill him? That just seems so simple and boring.
Yeah, I can't tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what her end game is, but I do think that she's very interesting.
The fact that she called it out and was like, would you do any different than Aemon? To me says that she has some kind of, I don't know. We've been spending a lot of time with her in this show. It's like, it's often her and Daemon.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, okay, where's that going? Because, like, my mind is trying to, like, pick up on where this is headed, right? And so at one point they're very close. I'm like, is this supposed to be like a pseudo romantic thing? That can't be it. Like, not to repeat myself, but like my guess is that she wants to change things or make things better somehow, and maybe there's a way through him.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's an interesting notion, an interesting prediction.
Yeah, I mean, his move, obviously, everything he's done so far has backfired. So he's getting, surely he's getting humbled. Like,
I mean, yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so
stubborn,
self-absorbed. Like
short-sighted.
He believes in the superiority of his Targaryen bloodline, right? Like he thinks that people should just bow down to him because they are the rightful heirs to the kingdom. They are the rightful rulers in that. And yeah, it's just he didn't have the foresight to see how allowing someone who has a feud with those people that you're trying to get on side would do something that would just mess things up so much. And while perhaps coercing the Brackens into joining his army by kidnapping their wives and children or whatever might work in the short term, he also ended up pissing off all the other nobles in the Riverlands. And so now they're all like, you suck. And also we're a really stubborn people and we are not going to, you know, be on your side now. And he's just screwed everything.
Yeah, so where does his character go from here? Does this character just stay stubborn and continue to make the same mistakes? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
That would be boring.
That would be boring.
And-
He'd have to figure it out.
So, because like one of the things they sort of talked about early in the episode, like right near the beginning, is him realizing what kind of people he needs, right? That's why he went on this whole thing of like doing this shitty thing of.
Yeah, but you're not going to get people like that who are like, I would rather die by dragonfire than bend my knee to you. You're not going to get those people on side by like forcing them.
Right. No, I mean.
Right?
I agree with you.
Yeah, no, totally. But he hasn't realized how to kind of rule with empathy.
Right. So my whole thing is, it's going to come back to that witch lady somehow. It's just gotta. Somehow, I don't know exactly how, but she's going to show him the way.
Well, yeah, and I think there's been a little bit more of a shift in focus from like noble families to also showing the small folk in the show.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so they're just showing how the decisions of these royal families or whatever is having major repercussions with the people, right? And Alice Rivers was saying, you guys do your stuff and everything just always affects the women and the children. Like we have to deal with the aftermath of everything. And so I think somehow that's going to come into play.
The thing with the common folk is so fascinating to watch. I had genuine fear that it was going to break out in crazy violence, like a riot.
Yeah.
When they were trying to flee and the guards were keeping them trapped. I was just like, oh God, how's this going to play out? But finally to come back around to
Missaria.
That whole thing about like being the savior to the people and all that, like I'm having a hard time seeing the three-dimensional picture of how that works.
Well,
because like I understand in concept of like what the goal is and how you want to affect possibility in your favor, but like how? What? Like how do you do that?
Well, I think back to Gandhi, right? in that moment.
Okay.
Because
I got to hear this.
Okay.
Gandhi.
I'm
Okay.
all
ears.
I don't know if I'm just being crazy, but just the thought of like a people who have been oppressed for so long don't realize that they actually have power in their numbers. So Misari is like there are.
How does Rhaenyra benefit from that?
Right. So if you get the small folk on side and they believe that you are the true queen, the true savior for the people, then perhaps they riot. And their sheer number is larger than the army or whatever that they have there.
Is it just through rumors and word of mouth? Like, maybe I'm over like analyzing this. I just don't understand. Like, okay, why would they shift their focus and think she's the savior now? Do you understand my confusion?
Yes. I have to think about this for a second because like while I was watching it, it was quite apparent, and now you're asking me questions, and I'm like, yay.
That was my confusion in the middle of the episode. I'm like, okay, I get the goal. I just don't understand how you execute that. I would imagine it has something to do with word of mouth.
Well, yeah, it is word of mouth, right? Because Missaria is Rhaenyra's version of Larys Strong, like the.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Littlefinger.
Well,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
Littlefinger, or what's his name? The eunuch. I forget his name now, but yeah. And so
Who's got birds everywhere?
Yes, the sparrow.
Yeah.
Right. No, the sparrow is the other guy.
We all know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Sort of.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think she can help to build a story, build a legend, and bolster Rhaenyra in the people's eyes, because right now they're starving and they see an ill omen in a dragon. They're superstitious. They're simple people. But also, I think when you see the dragon, it's like, shit, war is truly coming.
Yeah.
And so...
And the people are being taxed.
Yeah.
They're being asked for this and that for a war that they don't probably want to participate in to begin with. Okay, it's making sense to me.
Yeah.
It's starting to make sense to me. It's just like in the moment I was like, I have so many questions and the show's not answering it. But I suppose enough was there for you to sort of extract, and I just was being dim-witted for the moment.
Yeah, but also it's like in that moment, if you're feeling so oppressed and poor and your family's suffering and you're suffering, sometimes it might look like a better choice to go with the other person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's all very contingent on what the story is that is told to them, I suppose, that if they buy into it.
Right.
yeah, I wasn't seeing that. I was being dense. So, because I'm like, what do you do? How's that work? You know, I want to know.
Never underestimate the power of rumors and storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's such an interesting angle as well, because traditionally all the men are all like, oh, we're going to fight a war. We're going to go and like take our dragons and they're going to fight each other and like violence and whatever. And it's like, okay, but also you can wage war with words, with diplomacy.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff, which is very much in the realm of women.
Yeah.
I'll take you down with a rumor.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could. I kind of, you know, joked about it, but like there was a video I watched. I think I watched it with Steph about ninjas and like the last true living ninja. Mm-hmm. And you know, he was talking about what ninjas were useful for back in the day, and one of the things was spreading rumors. And I like, it just sounded so juvenile to me.
Stupid, but it's very valuable.
Right. It's like through the modern lens, it just sounds juvenile. Just like with spreading rumors. You know what Stacey did? It sounds like that. But I understand, like,
you only
politically.
have to look so far as social media.
Sure.
We're still doing that.
Sure. I mean, politically, yeah, spreading rumors can be quite damaging. I get it. I just needed that moment spelled out a little bit for me. That's all.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I hope I
now I get it. But and then next week we're going to find out we're totally off base.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, everyone who's read the book is like, guys, you're so wrong.
What's fascinating to me is how far we're into this, and George R.R. Martin still hasn't finished Game of Thrones, the books.
Right, but this is the precursor. So
I get
this
it.
story he already knew. You know, this is history.
I understand. I'm just saying, it's like, dang, we're this far into how many seasons of Game of Thrones just in general, altogether, and he still hasn't finished his book.
There's too much pressure now. Do you know what I mean? And now everybody's probably looking to him and being like,
how many years ago?
You have to make this end better than what they did, better than what HBO did.
How many years ago did this show end? How many years has it been?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was before pandemic. Like, it's been so long, and he still hasn't finished the book, and he's got like 2 left, right?
I don't know.
I forget. I don't know, man. Anyway, it's just hilarious to me. I was like, because there's always that thing that every time an episode starts, it's a thought that crosses my mind. I'm like, because I'm so invested, I'm like, and he still hasn't finished that book.
God damn it, George R.R. Martin.
Not that I'm reading it. It's just hilarious to me, the notion. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging. I'm Jabby Koi. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.